We've seen ECOWAS act in this same way in previous circumstances, resorting to the very, very traditional tools of suspensions and things like that. You know, these things are very traditional and they have proven very, very ineffective in terms of its capacity to get these military leaders back on the path of democracy or civilian rule. And so if ECOWAS is repeating saying, I do not expect to see anything different in terms of outcomes. I think that overall, we are tackling the problem the wrong way. The descent, the issue of violent extremism from the Sahel descending towards coastal states has been a reality for more than 5 years. And so these are things we should have, been very, very proactive in terms of dealing with the drivers and the underpinnings of these factors in terms of the terrorist violence that has led to what Mali is today. And it's the same situation with Burkina Faso. And if you look at the issue of, and I've listened to my previous speakers speaking very appropriately in terms of the challenges that the Sahel, as well as the coastal states of West Africa are facing. The issue of governance. Governance is a very, very big problem, coupled with the issues of, youth unemployment. The huge governance deficit, coupled with youth unemployment, makes these countries and this leadership is very, very fragile. And so things like this happening should not surprise anyone who's been watching all this while. I think my general summary in terms of the challenge we're dealing with is that what we are seeing in terms of violent extremism and in terms of the coups that are happening is largely a product or a manifestation, of the frustrations, the anger of citizens who have lost faith in their states and in their leaders' capacity to provide them or guarantee them what I call the entitlements of citizenship. If you look at the huge problem of youth unemployment, it's a huge feature. If you follow incidents before the first coup happened in 2020, it tells you, this is an environment that has huge issues of youth unemployment. And mind you, all these three countries combined, it's about, 45 to 50 million people, the age of 20, 22. And so these are people you need to be able to, address their concerns, their challenges of unemployment, job creation, and other, amenities relating to, specifically water, healthcare, education, and things like that. We see that play out in Guinea, and we see that play out in Burkina Faso. I was in Burkina Faso a couple of months back on some counter-terrorism mission. And it was clear, if you looked at, on the ground, the challenges of deficit in terms of governance and young people's frustration and a sense of marginalization with existing leadership. These are pointers to whoever was in charge that something that this that has just happened was a likely situation. And so I think these are things that are not and should not be surprising to all of us. And the way ECOWAS chooses to respond to those has been very, very dysfunctional. And I think that it's high time ECOWAS and all stakeholders agreed that ECOWAS is not properly and effectively tooled to deal with the challenges of these current times. If you remember, the Lagos Protocol that established ECOWAS in 1975 did not originally, a part of the role of ECOWAS. It was an afterthought, and of course, a product of the reality of coups and external aggression on countries within the West African region. So we need to be very realistic. The challenges we're dealing with right now are quite different from the past. Okay. And ECOWAS hasn't been able to keep up in terms of reforming to deal with it.
Okay.